There's like this quote that morality is what you do when nobody's watching. It's one thing to behave well when other people are watching you, but if you're doing the right thing, like in a room alone, that's the difference between a moral person and an immoral person, is the idea. This movie is using the Invisible Man as an example of this, like how would people behave if there were no consequences? If you could do whatever you wanted and nobody could trace it back to you. And somebody like Cain would do terrible things to other people. And he would just treat the world as a playground and everybody else is just there for his gratification. Once he gets invisible, he just stops caring about anybody else. Which means when he was visible, the only reason he behaved as like a decent human being is because other people were watching and they could have punished him for doing the wrong thing. And that is no longer true, and that is why he becomes a villain.
There was even like internal conflict. He was trying to control the, you know what power can do to you. So he was kind of like trying to tame it, especially when with the scene where he was looking at the girl from across the street, and when he was invisible, he told himself, "No, don't do it." But then he was like, "Who would know?" But you know what I'm saying? But just that moment there where he's trying to tame that urge, knowing damn well that he can get away with it, and knowing damn well that he's got the power to do whatever he wants to do. That scene, I just really liked it because he tried to control it, but like you said, power is just like when you have power, it's just sometimes it's just an uncontrollable urge that you get to want to do just to be free. That scene for me was really good at capturing that moment.
Yeah, I think that's more of a realization at that point that he doesn't have to hold back anymore. He doesn't have to keep himself in check anymore. He can just do it, right? It seems to me like this is something he's wanted to do all along, and now he realizes that is no longer true. Now now there are no consequences, and that's all it takes. Like one of my questions was going to be: is his character arc for becoming a villain good enough? Is it detailed enough? Does it show the internal argument enough and that sort of thing? Because one of my pet peeves in movies is that movies skip steps where they show that a character has changed, but they don't show the moment of him changing. And what I've landed on with this movie is that he doesn't change. He just realizes that he doesn't have to hold back anymore. And then once he starts doing things like first of all, messing with other people, but then also assaulting his neighbor and all of that. Each time it works and he gets away with it and nobody can prove anything to him and there's no consequences. One more safeguard falls away. And then by the end, when he actually turns into the slasher monster, he's just pure, unrestrained instinct. And he does things he's always wanted to do, but he's now unlearned all the rules of society because they don't apply to him anymore. So I've kind of landed on he doesn't change, and so there doesn't need to be a moment of change. There just has to be a realization and the reinforcement of the realization that there are no consequences anymore, and so the rules don't apply anymore to him. And that's all it takes.